Is Joker Folie Deux really as bad as everyone has made it out to be? No. But is it a good movie and a good follow up to the first movie, which was absolutely fantastic? Not at all. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we are on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. I am here to review Joker Folie Deux. It is the epitome of a movie that never needed to be made whatsoever. I absolutely loved the first movie, despite the fact that I think it's kind of a poor imitation of the source material. The sequel separates itself even more from the comics, and it actually nosedives into a complete and absolute waste of time. Sure, you can mention Gotham and Harvey Dent all you want, but that doesn't make it a movie set in the Batman universe, which was my biggest complaint of the first movie. I thought the first movie was actually really amazing. I think just from a basic story perspective, taking away the actual Gotham and Joker names, I thought it was, as a film, a really great movie. But as a movie set within the Batman universe, it was not good at all. They were legitimately just cashing in on the IP name of Batman for that movie, and granted, it helped. They made over $1 billion, so who am I to say that they're wrong in doing that? But just because you throw out a couple of names doesn't mean it is set within this universe. One of the biggest questions going into this movie, for me personally, I know a lot of people as well, what about the musical aspects of the movie? Oh boy, I'm not sure who thought that was a good idea to do for a Joker movie. The songs all sound the same and are just absolutely boring and bland, much like the rest of the film itself. It's almost kind of like they didn't want to fully commit to the idea of a musical and just half-assed it. I legitimately checked out anytime that they started to sing. Even Lady Gaga was not fully utilized here. Go watch any Disney movie, and for whatever reason, like, I know some of those songs in a lot of the newer Disney movies are not as good, but go watch any like the animated movies. Those songs just flow seamlessly in those movies that I don't ever think twice about the fact that they're using music to help tell the story. Joker Folie Deux does not do that whatsoever. They don't incorporate any music really. To be completely honest, a lot of it seems like a cappella, where it's just Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga just singing with no music in the background, and it is just so uninspiring that this is what they came up with. They said, let's do a musical, and then they were like, but do we want to? And none of it really told a story. It was just songs to be thrown in there. I was expecting a little bit better from the musical side of the movie, considering that's what they kind of marketed the movie as, but it is legitimately the worst part of the entire movie. Lady Gaga and Harley Quinn serve no purpose in this movie. I was somewhat expecting the relationship to be like the crux of the movie and to be at least somewhat enjoyable, but it wasn't. There was no development of their characters between Harley Quinn and Joker. The chemistry was way off between Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, and it seemed like there were chunks of the movie just missing. Like, Joker would reference something that happened between them, and it never actually happened. And look, I don't want to be that guy, but I will. There's no resemblance of their comic book relationship in this movie. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be one of those comic book elitists where it has to be the comic book characters to the fucking T in the movie, because I'm not one of those guys. I think you got to use the comic books, or even like anime versus manga, use the source material to help bridge the gap between that and the movie, and use it as two different mediums. I'm not going to be the guy that says, well, this wasn't a part of the comic books. I'm not, normally. But you have to have some sort of resemblance of their comic book counterparts in order to really call it a comic book movie. Like, you have to have those aspects there of their characters, and there's just no resemblance of that relationship or these characters in this movie. Again, they only share the names of the characters in the Batman comics, and that's it. Now, I am all for changing things up and going in different directions. I actually kind of prefer it when they do that, because it leaves it a little unpredictable for me. But this just seemed like a cash grab on the IP name rather than coming up with a compelling story or characters. This is undoubtedly one of the most disappointing movies, not of 2024, but I've ever watched. Like, I would put this in the category of, actually, you know what? Spider-Man 3 takes the cake for probably most disappointing movie of all time, because I remember the hype for that movie was just absolutely insane. So I'm not going to put that right there next to it. But put this in any category of like most disappointing movies of all time following an original movie, like as far as like sequels go. Which sucks because, this movie does look absolutely fantastic. And there are some great scenes in the movie that are downright incredible. But for every scene that was great, there's like 4 or 5 scenes that were just pointless and uninspiring, which is very disappointing for this franchise. But yeah, I'm just going to pretend like this movie never existed. I'll go watch the first one and I'll just go enjoy the first one and just enjoy that as a movie that's like talking about mental health and how you can swing to the extreme side of it. And I love the movie for that. Do not love the movie for its Batman aspects, but that's neither here nor there. But Joker Folie Deux, not a good movie. Do not waste your time with it. It is on HBO Max if you decide you do want to partake in it. But if you have seen it, let me know down in the comments below of what you thought about Joker Folie Deux. But guys, that's going to be it for me. I will catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.